Hi, I'm Tom D, and in this video I want to talk about routing allocation same shard host setting and the consequences of using that setting if you run multiple Elasticsearch instances on one physical node. This may cause a yellow cluster half status because of the problem of allocating replicas that will be forbidden to be allocated because they will be on the same physical host as the primary shards. Let's start. This is the command to run the first Elasticsearch container in the Docker. Notice that the network setting is set to host because I want to have the same IP addresses for all the containers that are running on this Docker daemon, because that will allow this setting for cluster routing allocation same shard host as true. That will allow this setting to recognize those containers are on the same host, and therefore it will forbid those two nodes to have primary and replica shard, because this setting prevent having primary and replica shard on the same physical host, and that can be achieved with this network host because they will have the same IP address. This network host is only available on the Linux Docker. It's not available on the Docker desktop for Macintosh or Docker desktop for Windows. In these environments, there will be an error when you run the next container. Here is a setting for memory for Java, because when you have default setting for memory for Java, it will not allow you to run the second container. Node name is specified here as Mac01. Okay, let's start it here. The first container is started. Now it's time to start the second container. Ctrl B, right arrow, and I am in the right pane. Before executing the command, run the query to obtain enrollment token for the second node. Okay, this is the enrollment token to copy. It's over here. Let's go to right pane. Here the same, the network is set up as host for Docker driver. Here's cluster routing allocation same shard as true. Let's run this command. There are messages that cluster was formed, so now you can check status of that cluster. First, set up the password for that cluster. For Elastic user, password is set up right now. Run command to check the status of the cluster. The status is yellow because there is one unassigned shard. Let's check which shard is not assigned. Command. Okay, there is index.security -7, which has an alias .security, and the replica is not assigned. This is because there is a setting when you started the container that doesn't allow the replica and primary shards to be on the same physical host. How to fix it then? It requires changes of that index. If you want to see special explanation, you can write the query to check allocation of that index. You can see that a copy of this shard is already allocated to this node, and you can see that with the same host address and cluster routing allocation same shard host is true, which forbids more than one node on each host from holding a copy of this shard. This is the reason why this shard is unassigned. Now if you want to update the setting of this security index to change the number of the replicas into 0, you get this exception that the Elastic user is not authorized to change this setting. Now you can create the new user. First you create the role called sec. It can operate on all in the indexes, also including these restricted indexes. The role is created. Now create the user with that role. User with that role is created. So now you can try again to change that auto expand replicas, but using this sec user. Now there is an exception that cannot override setting on system indexes. This is the protection to not allow users to edit that settings for this .security index. There is a different way to do this. This is the query that can be run also by Elastic user. It updates the security settings. And here, this index auto expand replicas is mentioned. Okay, let's run it and let's see what is the status of shards right now. Now there is only one shard, primary shard, that is started, and there is no other shards because there is no replica for that shards after updating the settings. So now let's see what is the status of Elasticsearch cluster. Now status is yellow. Why? So let's check what are the other indexes that shards might be not assigned. Okay, there is two indexes that are here: logs deprecation elastic default and ILM history. Actually, these two indexes can be updated directly by this new sec user. First command. Here I am using this standard settings update for index, and it's working. So these indexes are not so protected. You can update their settings. Let's update another one. ILM history, copying index name, and run the query. Okay, let's check the shard status right now. And all of them are started right now. All of them are started, which means that cluster health will be green. Yes, the cluster right now has a green status because it doesn't have any unassigned shards. That's working. To get the knowledge in form of articles, visit my blog toughcoding.net. Here you can find multiple knowledge articles about different topics related to Elasticsearch, related to AI, related to anything which is related to IT. You can see, for example, export data from Elasticsearch article, and here you have a ready-to-use code snippets that you can copy and paste to your local environment and run them. You don't need to write anything, you can just copy, paste, and see results. That's how this blog is created. Thank you for watching this video. I am sure that you will use the examples presented here and they will help you in your day-to-day work. Have a nice coding.